Making sense in a mad world. What's up, y'all? Okay, I gotta speak on it again because it seems like the temperature is only getting a little hotter. And I felt like this is something that would eventually dissipate. But the reason why it's not, and what I think the reason why it's not, is because for one, obviously they are encouraging this. Why? Why are they encouraging this madness, this civil war type activity and all this mess? What are we being distracted from? Because it's pretty cut and dry, right? At least in my eyes, from what we've seen, she did not follow orders. She drove her car at the officer. The bullet went through the front of the windshield. It's unfortunate that she lost her life, but let's not, be delusional about what this is. She was in the wrong. She's not a virtuous hero for going and getting in the way of federal officers that are trying to detain and arrest and deport illegal immigrants. And of course, yes, sometimes they are going to get it wrong. But just because they are going to get it wrong does not mean that you throw out the baby with the bathwater. Okay? This is still a necessary law and enforcement that we need to have in our society. And you know what? Like, Trump didn't build a wall, but he built an ice wall. Okay, I'm being silly, but I mean, think about it though. I do feel it's necessary. I hate the fact that, a lot of my people, copper tone people are getting on this fight like as if it's ours. And it's really not our fight. It is our fight if we don't want to become the minority here. Do we want to be minorities to illegal immigrants? Do we want to put more of a strain on our education system, that's already struggling, on our economy that's already struggling, to support people that don't even speak our language? And that simple fact with the language barrier being a real thing in school, even right now, my kids have a lot of Spanish speaking, kids in the classrooms. They have problems even getting teachers to teach in these schools because of how bad it's gotten. Now, when you include and you add a language barrier on top of this, what kind of strain or what type of effect do you think this is going to have? And these are just simple questions. I don't have to be like, oh, I'm a right, conservative, definitely not left, to figure this out, that this is a common sense situation. We can't afford to have more illegals over here. We can't afford to, have, ICE getting the wrong people either. But from a CNN special that they showed, with a reporter going around with ICE, that they made a mistake in arresting some guy's brother. It happens. I mean, we don't know the difficulty of their job to get this information. How are you not going to profile somebody who came over here illegally that shouldn't be? Do you, like, when you become a victim of something that happens from these illegals, at that point it's going to be too late. So is your niece or nephew or child or cousin or auntie or grandma or anybody, sister, whatever, if one of them become a victim of an illegal, at that point it's too fucking late to change your mind. This reminds me of, that hardcore psychological media push that they were using at the same time during the health thing in 2020. I got one of my last videos taken down for even speaking on that, so I gotta be careful. But yeah, y'all give me y'all thoughts on this. I never would have saw myself ever, siding with a police type organization just because of the way I was raised and the negative effects that I had, from the police. But this is a no-brainer to me. And I'm not just going all hard for the police or nothing like that. But this right here, this is fundamentally so important for the future of America and for the future of our kids. Are we going to have any culture anymore? Can we go make America American again? Yeah, I'm saying not MAGA, because that wasn't making America great again. Some of this stuff, what's going to happen with Greenland? Now aliens is getting involved. This shit is getting wild, y'all, but the last thing that we need is to be falling apart from the inside and ripping into each other and tearing each other down over something so common sense. But this is what they want. This destruction and this massive destruction, what they're doing right now, because they're uncovering more fraud. Minnesota, as they said, that was just the beginning of it. Now they're finding all this kind of fraud in California, in New York. What's really going on, y'all? Knowledge is power, and power to the people.